Well, hello everyone. My name is Noemi Banchi, and this is a metaphysical activity about Saint Germain and Guy Ballard. So, we started at 1 p.m. Sunday time in Argentina with Paula Gonzalez, and now we continue here from Sydney. And let me tell you that okay. Today actually, because different hours, from Mexico at 11 a.m. of Sunday, the activity of Sir Ruben Cedeño, Saint Germain, and Mount Shasta. And let me say thank you to Saint Germain for expand this teaching. Guy Ballard, the Sir Ruben Cedeño, Baron of Louvercy, because he is the head visible of all the metaphysical groups in the world. And also, I want to say thank you to Sir Fernando Candiotto, because he organized this event. And also, I want to say thank you to Leonardo Pisani. I was going to say Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo Pisani, because he helped me with the video. So we are going to watch a video in a moment. And I want to say thank you as well to Mara Isa, because she helped me with some photos. So we are going to. So as you see, many people works to do this. And also, of course, I want to say thank you to join me this activity. So now we are going to share a video. So I'll let you see the video.
Por esta ventana fue que la palomita le tocó el vidrio con su piquito a Ballard, avisándole que le tenía un mensaje del maestro Saint Germain. En esta habitación está la radiación del señor Ballard, del maestro Saint Germain, y afortunadamente, como les dije, el maestro ha permitido que nosotros nos hospedemos aquí, pero esto no es un privilegio para nosotros, es un privilegio para todos ustedes. Para muchos de los que no han venido o quisieran venir y todavía no les ha llegado el momento de que puedan vernos dentro de estas habitaciones como si ustedes estuvieran con nosotros, que hubieran venido de nuestra mano, y siéntanse en realidad todos los que nos oyen invitados a sentarse, a permanecer aquí con nosotros en esta maravillosa vivencia de estar dentro del cuarto del señor Ballard, donde se inició toda esta historia maravillosa del conocimiento, de la actividad Yo Soy, de la llama violeta y de los maestros ascendidos, como nosotros lo hemos aprendido en la metafísica. Por esta vez.
Okay, so now we are going to study this chapter. So this introduction is like we are going to, like a story. I'm going to tell you a story, and this story has connection with this this room, as you saw recently. You saw to Ruben Cedeño. You saw at Ruben Cedeño talking from this room. So this is like a movie. We started from the end, and now we are going to watch to study all the process. So this information is based on the book Unveiled Mysteries by Godfrey Ray King. And he says, I wish to say that these experiences are as real and true as mankind's existence on this earth today. I'm not going to tell you a story. Actually, this event was true. This happened once upon a time. And all this story started in 1930, so 90 years ago. So if we are in Australia, we are in the east coast from Australia, and we are going to travel to the west coast of the United States, to California, specifically Mount Shasta. And you can see here the image of the hotel, because we are watching the Mount Cloud Hotel. And this is the place when all this started. In this room, as you see, we have all the details. The room 227 or 227. This is the room, I will show you the picture here, that we saw in the video when Sir Ruben Cedeño was talking. He was sitting there, here in this, let me show you. Here, he was sitting in one of these sofa. So what I want you is to imagine that you are sitting on this bed listening to this story. You are part of this story. Rumor said that there was a group of divine men called the Brotherhood of Mount Shasta. Guy Ballard had been sent on government business to this little town situated at the foot of the mountain, and while thus engaged, occupied this leisure time trying to unravel this rumor. And at the same time, I want to share this story about Guy Ballard, but also your story as well, because when I started to study metaphysics, it's not because I love metaphysics. I didn't have any idea. I have no idea about what metaphysics means, but I heard something. So maybe you heard rumors or someone talking, and this is when you have interest in knowing about what's going on. What does it mean? So as you see, Guy Ballard starts as well as with a rumor. But he says, I knew that most rumors, myths, and legends have somewhere as their origin a deep underlying truth that usually remains unrecognized by all but those who are real students of life. That means like some people say, no, but don't believe because it's a myth. But he says that if behind all the story or each story or myth, there is truth. So we need to be aware of that. And you can see here this image. So here is the hotel in Mount Shasta. This is the McClown Hotel. And you can see here, this is the Mount Shasta. So from the town, you can see the Mount Shasta. You can see Mount Shasta. And he fell in love with Shasta, Guy Ballard. And each morning, almost involuntarily, saluted the spirit of the mountain and the members of the order. And let me ask you something. What do you do every morning when you wake up? You rush for a coffee, you rush, I don't know, to work, or sometimes we don't have to go to work, but you have to work at home. What do you do? Well, following his example, we can do every morning a decree. Which decree? This decree. Salute our inners, our God within us. When we say God, we are not talking about an elderly sitting on a cloud. God as energy, intelligence within us. So we can say this together. Great God in me, I now assume your eternal dawn, receiving your great splendor and activity, which are visible manifest. Thank you, Father. Guy Ballard had planned such a hike for pleasure as he thought, to spend some time deep in the heart of the mountain when the following experience entered his life to change completely. And again, let me tell you about the correspondence to our life, because I don't know you, but when I started my first activity of metaphysics, I love it. I didn't understand anything. It's true. But I love it. I didn't know why I love it. So, well, we will see. The morning in question, he started out at daybreak, deciding to follow where things led and ask God to direct his path. And all the story is like an example for us, because he, even though he didn't know yet all the teaching, but he showed some light, I don't know. He started asking God guidance. And this is what we can do as well. Everything you have to do, or everything you want to do, or as Paula recently said, when you want to do, or when you have to say, I have to do that, okay, you can do that in the name of God. So you can say, in the name of God, I will, whatever you want. And you make sure you have the guide of your inner self, God. Okay, so here you have the photo, was my person. As you see, I don't know if you saw the recent activity with Paula Gonzalez, but she showed the photo, the same place, but in winter. And as you see here, this image is in summer. Actually, it was in August, the same 2 years ago. So was in summer, a little bit different, but the same place. So he, coming back to the story, here was walking, you know, like hiking, Guy Ballard. As the day advanced, it came time for lunch, and he sought a mountain spring for clear, cold water. Cup in hand, he bent down to feel it as an electrical current passed through his body from head to foot. And here you can see the image. Of course, it's changing, because we are talking about 90 years ago. But 2 years ago, the image of this water looks something like that. So maybe now it's different. We don't know. But this is exactly the place when Saint Germain, the meeting between Saint Germain and Guy Ballard. Guy Ballard looked around, and directly behind him stood a young man who at first glance seemed to be someone on a hike like himself. He looked more closely and realized immediately that he was no ordinary person. And let me tell you now again, so maybe a correspondence to your life nowadays, because when you, every person, my person as well, started studying this teaching, maybe you have different objects or motifs, but at the same time you don't know how deep is this. And as Guy Ballard says, I didn't know who was him, but I knew he wasn't an ordinary person. And this is what we can see here. When we start studying seriously this teaching, we realize that, oh, this is This is very, very interesting. This is not like a anything else. This is something special. And here the answer from Saint Germain. He says, "My brother, if you will hand me your cup, I will give you a much more refreshing drink than spring water." And I want to stop here and say the importance of his words, because he is a king, and he was a prince, and he knows the way to speak, and we can follow his example. He didn't say like, "Hey bro, give me that." Like you can hear sometimes people talk like this. And no, he very respectful. He respect the other, the inner self in other person. And well, it's so important to know about that. And another thing is the cup. So the symbolism of the cup. Why an empty cup? Because it's actually, this is physics. If you have your cup full, can you get anything here inside? No, it's impossible. So when a person starts studying, this teaching has to be empty. Yes, has to be empty. When you start studying metaphysics, you have to be empty to receive this information, because it's something new. And Guy Ballard obeyed, and instantly the cup was filled with a creamy liquid. Handing it back to him, Master Saint Germain said, "Drink it." He did so, and the taste was delicious. The electrical vivifying effect in his mind and body made him gasp with surprise. He wondered what was happening. And Saint Germain explained, that which you drank come directly, so you can read with me. That which you drank comes directly from the universal supply, pure and vivifying as love itself. In fact, it is life, omnipresent life, for it exists everywhere about us. It is subject to our conscious control and direction, willingly obedient. When we love enough, because all the universe obeys the behest of love, whatsoever I desire manifests itself when I command in love. I held out the cup, and that which I desired for you appeared. Basically, what Master Saint Germain showed, because he didn't talk, he showed to Guy Ballard about the principle of mentalism. What we start at metaphysics in the first day to study, when we start studying metaphysics, the first day we study this, the principle of mentalism. What you think and you feel, you bring into form. And this was Saint Germain show him with the action. We didn't say a word, then he explained all the details. But the first thing, he gave him the example. Was a very good teacher, very practical, isn't it? He is very good. And Saint Germain continued, "You have desired to see something of this kind so intensely, so honestly, and so determinedly, it could no longer be withheld from you. So when you desire something, you call this to your life. And well, this is when the student is ready the facilitator appears. And I changed the words because is this very connected with the Paula teaching? Because we are now in the Aquarian age. And because we are in Aquarian age, some terminology changed. Instead of say, for example, before you will read, when the disciple is ready, the master appears. But we are now with the modernism, we say when the student is ready, the facilitator appears. And well, I don't know if you love movies. I love movies. And this movie is about Matrix. And Morpheo is the image you see here, is he represents the facilitator. And you see on the on his glasses the image of Neo. Neo is the student. So what I want to say here is the facilitator shows you, but the students has to make the choice, have to decide. So what do you want, blue or red? So what you want to do is up to you. But the facilitator can show you. You have to do whatever you want. Saint Germain continued. When leaving home this morning, you thought you were coming on a hike. That is, so far as the outer activity of your mind was concerned. In a deeper, large sense, you were really following the urge of your inner self. Let me explain this to you with an example. Here we have an example. So we have Sir Ruben Cedeño and Connie Mendes. So in the life of Sir Ruben Cedeño, when he started studying metaphysics many years ago, he didn't start because he loved it. Actually, what he wanted he wanted to meet her. He wanted to meet the Venezuelan musician, because this lady Connie Mendes was very famous for her songs. So he couldn't imagine at that time all the wonderful that he will going to find behind this event. He wanted to meet her. But not only him, some people start studying metaphysics because they are sad for some reason and they feel like they don't have any enthusiasm, and they find a goal or something like they can cheer up. And sometimes people start studying this because they are looking for a better health, or they have appearance in their bodies and they want to be healed. Some people start studying metaphysics because they want to improve their financial situation. They need money, and of course we learn about prosperity, consciousness of prosperity. And some people start, this is, for example, is my case. I started studying metaphysics because I remember I was I don't know how old I was, but I remember I was in front of the mirror asking myself, I wonder, who am I? And well, this, when you have a question, the answer comes to you. And this is why some people start studying this teaching. So as you see, there are many, well, in the case of Guy Ballard, was for a hiking. He wanted to do some exercise, and he found these wonders. So when Saint Germain says you follow the urge of your inner self, he was mentioned about this, the inner self. So The image here represents your reality. The I am presence here, the inner self, and the personality. The personality is composed of 4 sheaths: physical, etheric, emotional, and mental. And all this thing is about consciousness. And we are going to play. Do you want to play a game? Okay. You have to do what I'm going to say. Because we said about the inner self, or the I am person, is a consciousness. So I want to show you what does it mean. Please, if you are sitting on a chair, please look around you and try to memorize. Look around you, all the red things that you can see. Look around you, red things. Red objects. All right? Did you get it? Did you get it? All right. Now, close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes and name, of course, we are online, but name the blue things you saw. I cannot read, if you're writing, I cannot read here right now, but open your eyes. And I want to explain to you. The consciousness is when you have the attention. So basically, it's when you expand your consciousness. It's because you are not looking at something specifically. It's because your consciousness, when you start to expand, is when you can realize everything. So it's like when you have a situation, for example, money. I will say it's money. So if you are thinking about only scarcity or poverty or everything expensive or I can't afford it in that moment or whatever you think, you are looking the red object and you cannot see the blue things. The blue things exist, but because you are focused on that, you are not able to see. So this is your reality. Your inner self is your consciousness. You are consciousness. I hope the example was useful. Helpful, actually. Saint Germain said, the mass of humanity is in exactly this state of consciousness today and will continue in it until they accept the God within their hearts as the owner, giver, and doer of all the good that has ever come into their lives and world. You have to change. Nobody can change for you. And Master Kusumi says, do not make great effort to go to find the presence of God. Quiet and find it in the peace of your own sensorial world. So I give you the what you have to do. Now we are saying how can I do that? Well, what you can do now is, well, I don't know if you are lying on the bed because I don't see you, but you can sit on the chair properly, if you want. If not, it's not necessary to change your posture. Sorry, you can do whatever you want. And what you can do is put your hand on your heart and look at your heart and look for your heart, okay? And hear your heartbeat. Can you feel it? Well, this heartbeat came from, what does it mean? You are alive. Well, this is the life. This is your inner self. This is why you are alive here, right now. Because your inner self. It's very easy to connect. And also, we can do this decree together. All right, so let's start. I am the resurrection and the life of all good in my life stream. I am the resurrection and the life of my eternal youth and beauty, perfect sight and hearing, limitless strength and energy, and my perfect health. I am the resurrection and the life of my limitless supply of money and every good and perfect thing. I am the resurrection and the life of all perfection in my world and my divine plan fulfilled right now. Thank you, Father. So we can use our decree. Master Jesus says it's not only a matter of knowing the presence, but in practicing the present in even the simplest activity. It's very clear. It's not only saying the decree. You have to do. It's like you don't have to know how to is your inner self. You have to be your inner self. Be it. The first part is, we're talking about here the I am. And now the second part of the teaching of Master Saint Germain is the use of the violet flame to transmute all the energy that we have described negatively. The violet flame, you can read with me. The violet flame isn't fully known until one learns how to describe electrons. For example, every time you say, damn it, I wish you death, or you put a curse, or say something negative, you are describing these electrons with that energy, and they have to go to the end of the universe and return to whoever described them negatively to be redeemed, because that energy has to return purified to the Father. The Father means the cause, the fount, the source. All the energy described by us has to return pure to the Father. And if it's not pure, well, we have to purify it. So the importance of your words, you have a really power within your throat. The violet flame is the only thing able to redeem all those electrons described negatively. So when you say something negative, you have the opportunity to transmute with the violet flame. We didn't have enough time in one incarnation to transmute them. For this reason, we have had to incarnate to keep transmuting them. So this information is from Sir Ruben Cedeño. So, if we are here on Earth, it's because we had bad karma, and we had to transmute our bad karma, our bad actions, by the using of the violet flame, or by suffering. And I don't need to ask you what you prefer, because of course nobody wants to suffer. So this is the gift, the huge gift, the teaching that Master Saint Germain gave to Guy Ballard 90 years ago to share with all humanity. Okay, so I give you the information, and now how? Okay, this is the decree. So we can do this together right now. I am the protection of the armor cylinder of the electromagnetic ray of violet light, which consumes and dissolves all the mistakes made by me and all humanity. Thank you, Father. You can ask me how many times do I have to do that? As much as you want, as much as you wish. At least 3 times a day, 3 times a day, at least. So, overall, the whole teaching given by Saint Germain is the practice of the I Am presence and the use of the transmuting violet flame. So, if we do only these two things. And I'm saying only, but it's not only, because means a lot to do. But if you recognize and we realize our who are, well, I am, the I am, if we realize the I am and we transmute everything with the violet fire, well, we have done. So this is the end, but not the end completely, because we have much more activities to share. So for example, at 3 p.m. Sydney time, we will have the activity with Juanita Montealegre from Switzerland. So this activity will be in French, but well, as I said, I'm so happy to share with you this information. Everything in this is, all this teaching is new, relatively new, but this is what we have to do for the rest of the time we have here. So, well, thank you very much for joining me. Have a good day.